Welcome back to our channel. We've successfully crossed Drake Passage and today we're exploring the South Shetland Islands of Antarctica. We get to see the largest colony of chinstrap penguins in Antarctica and marvel at exquisite glaciers in this sublime but endangered landscape.
Is it making you emotional how beautiful it is? Wow. Wow! Good morning. We're up early again this morning because we're about to arrive in Antarctica. We can't see much yet, it's a little bit cloudy, but it's clearing up on the horizon there.
Much clearer than it was first thing this morning, so that's good.
So the first thing that we should be coming to is Snow Island, which I think is going to be on the other side of the boat, of the ship. But yeah, we're going to go up, have a look, see if we can spot anything. And yeah, sorry, I'm really tired. Only had one coffee so far this morning.
It wasn't the biggest coffee that I made either, was it?
No, it was like a half a cup that you brought me.
Let's go out and get some more coffee.
Second coffee, maybe breakfast, hopefully some snow-covered islands. So we went up on deck to have a look, but visibility is pretty poor. We saw a few like icebergs floating by and some penguins porpoising.
No icebergs are bigger than a car.
Yeah. And now it's got so foggy that they've had to put the foghorn on, and that was like really loud. I was standing right in front of it when it went off first, and it like made me jump out my skin. So we thought, just come back to the balcony. You know, if we're going to see anything, it's going to have to be close enough anyway to hear, and just chill a bit. And yeah, we might see some penguins going by. Yeah, maybe it'll clear up later. Hopefully, by the time we get to Deception Island. I think we're approaching Deception Island now, because on the horizon, instead of kind of lighter, I can see a bit of a dark mass, and there's some breakers. I don't know if you can actually see that, but yeah, so we're gonna head up, see what we can see. So we're just passing New Rock, it's very foggy, you can just see it. And apparently Deception Island is also over there somewhere in the fog. Jill says that there's some penguins in the window. Is that the little bit which is like sticking down?
Yeah,
out of
right
the
in
fog.
the middle. Have a look.
Okay.
See the little figures in the middle of the window?
Oh yeah!
I thought it was people.
That's so cool. Did you get a picture of that?
Yeah, I got a picture.
Up on our left, you see this large headland.
Yep,
You also
large
see some
headland.
really large green swatches.
Green swatches. Ah, it's algae. So they said there's only like 3 types of plants that can survive in Antarctica, and it was algae, lichen, and what was the other one? I'll have to look back at my notes from the lecture.
All the way up that hillside, starting at the lower left and heading up towards the right, climbing up that slope. Those are chinstrap penguins.
Chinstrap penguins climbing up the slope.
The port side, the left side of the ship, is a very large bird. That's a giant petrel. Also many more penguins swimming by. And we've seen a couple of these giant petrels fly by. They're actually very shy in their breeding colonies, but one thing they live off is penguin chicks.
He's down there. He's sitting in the water, he's about to take off.
As we come around this corner, it seems that we're heading into a strong wind, which would be good because then that might clear off the clouds. So we can finally actually see something from our balcony. It was on the port side, but they're turning the ship around so that we can see it too. So this is Deception Island. You can see big headland here. In Deception Island, it's kind of like a horseshoe shape, like almost a full circle with just a really small bay. We're at the south side where the gap is. I don't know if they'll actually take us in. That would be pretty cool if they took us into the bay inside. But yeah, it's clearing up. You can see a fair bit now. Phil's is getting a zoomed in picture of the glacier over there.
Gorgeous. Black on top.
It's got some waterfalls coming from it. Got like a rock right here. It's very, very, very kind of them to turn the ship around so that we can see from our balcony and we don't have to run about all over the ship. Because that was a little bit stressful earlier. It's like they'd be like, hey, we see some whales on the port bow, and everyone runs over there, and then it was like, hey, there's some penguins on the starboard, and you're like running about all over the place, and it was mental up there. Let's have a look here. This is like pretty close up on the map of where we are. So we're right here. You can see how the arrow is actually turning around. It's like we're circling. Dr. Cormac yesterday described it as like the ship's doing a handbrake turn. So there's the Antarctic Peninsula. We're here.
It might be worth going up once they start moving forward again. Because then we'll get another shot of that glacier.
Yeah. By the way, this is our Antarctic gear. Port side. Wind is good. Wind will blow away the fog. You can now see better the three rocks here. So there's like a small square one on the left, and then there's a big one in the middle. And then on the right there's like a stack. We're nearly level with this headland.
Maybe we can smell the penguin poop.
Yeah, we're getting a very strong whiff
I don't want penguins in Scotland.
of penguin guano right now.
Went to see the penguins.
Oh, could I see?
I want to have a look. I want to see the penguins.
It's pure white. That means it's very
Phil
old.
is videoing
Giant petrels get
the big
whiter
colony
as they get older.
of
And
penguins.
the giant petrels, one of their main
Just
food sources.
over there. On the right side of this headland,
Where they are.
White.
below the two kind of greyish patches of rock that are sticking out on the beach down there.
Coming and going.
Apparently the largest
Feed their
colony.
chicks. Sometimes everybody gets a
It'd be nice
chance
to get
get
them
a
closer.
good feed.
Nice. So he says we're gonna stay here, stationary for a while, so we can get a better view.
Okay, so you see the big rock.
And there are actually quite a few fur seals, not just at but all along the stretch of beach. If you look all the way over towards your right, there are fur seals, just kind of dark sausages all along the beach there.
We can see all this ice, a glacier. She said that the glaciers here are quite dirty. They're not white. They're quite grey. Can you see it?
Behind the headland.
Yeah, just appearing behind the headland. You can see like a river coming down. See where that grey patch is, kind of a little valley coming down, and then there's a river. So she said this is called Neptune's Bellows, and this is the entranceway to the caldera, and it's too narrow for our ship to get in there, she said. But the smaller whaler boats and sealers used to go in there. So it's become quite the spectacle. Everyone wants to see through the lens.
Which one?
Phil's now running a penguin peep show.
And we were actually just kind of marveling about the changeable weather of Antarctica, but really in a lot of ways I feel like when we get these misty days it sort of accentuates some of the colors, and it really, we've kind of got the darkness on one side of us, and then we almost had some sunlight burn through near the penguin colony a few minutes ago. It's almost really, it kind of makes it feel mysterious, and in some ways it's more exciting than if it were just brash sunlight and blue skies. I mean, they're both nice, but
Good job of keeping up morale, Dr. Tori Stockard.
just sitting on the water, just floating there, resting. So it's a really great way to get a good view of these large birds. These birds are called tube noses. You might be able to see that they have a long central tube on the top of their bill, and that's...
Yeah, so it was getting pretty cold out there, and we're moving away again now from Deception Island, so it seemed like a good time to come in and get a coffee and warm up with a second breakfast.
Yeah, we had a snacky breakfast before.
Yeah, I just had a couple of small croissants and a banana. Phil's ordered his gluten-free oatmeal, so he's waiting for that. I think I'll get the French toast again.
And I got lots of emails.
Yeah, email addresses. Everyone wants his photos. And we've got a couple of new subscribers. So it's all good. Well, this is the Paris room. It's one of 4 meeting rooms that they have. We came here yesterday for the question and answer. And we came again for the question and answer. It's supposed to be between 11 and 12, but there is nobody here. So, I mean, it is 20 to 12, so we may have missed it. TV there, you want to give a speech, Phil? Got the lectern here. Ah, this is the London room.
You can see Livingston Island. Beautiful sunshine.
Which side? They said, come up to get some amazing views of Livingston Island. The cloud has just lifted off it. It's very bright. You can see sun is shining on the glaciers. So we are moving. I'm going to put all my layers back on now. Now that I am again layered up. Gloves, coat, hat. Now we can look. See those glaciers? Wow. Just massive shelves of bluish white ice. Oh, it's so windy. It's so windy, I can barely speak. Look over here, it's like blue. It's almost blue sky. Almost.
Very windy.
Is it making you emotional how beautiful it is? It's so beautiful. I'm gonna move forward a bit. Oh, it's busy up there.
You again.
Yeah. It's so nice that the cloud has cleared for just long enough for us to see Livingston Island and the glaciers. Seems like what, 1, 2, 3? 3 glaciers? Or more. Probably like a lot more. Did you hear the announcement about a humpback whale up the front?
Yeah. It's about 600 metres up.
Alright.
So they're going to get a good angle.
Starboard. Oh.
One just blew just now, so it's pretty much 3 o'clock to the ship. So directly out from the starboard side of the ship. It's too close.
I'm heading back to the cabin. It's a bit mental around here. And Phil's still there, so I'm too short to see anything, so it doesn't really make much difference to me. Maybe I can see something from the balcony if I get there quick enough. Let's see what we can see. Look at this water. It's a mill pond down here. Not sure if the whales are still around. We're looking south, kind of south right now, I think. So way over there somewhere would be the Antarctic Peninsula, the mainland, which we said we probably won't see. We would see only if, you know, conditions were perfect, which they're not, obviously. Here come some penguins! Penguins! Here they come! 2 groups of penguins. Look at them. Porpoising, apparently, is what they call it.
when they move through the water like that, because it's much quicker for them. They can just like porpoises or dolphins. That's what they do. So yeah, it's a big group. And we're moving nice and slowly because earlier it was harder to see them because we were moving forward, they were moving backward. Oh, there's a group of something over there, right on the edge of that current. I don't think it's penguins because they don't seem to be porpoising. But, I don't know. Could be.
Dr. Stockard announced that this was in fact a group of Gen 2 penguins, just hanging out in the water, giving us a really good opportunity to observe them.
Okay, she said they spotted some whales in the distance on the starboard side, which is our side, which is good. And she said that they were quite far off, so we have time to position ourselves. Oh, right there. It surfaced over there. There, right there. Look, he blew. Did you see it? You must have seen it. That was amazing. There they are. Okay, cool. So you can see where we are. We're nearly past Livingston Island now. So we're heading up to these islands. Heading back out. We had a nap, power nap. We're approaching King George Island. Apparently you can see it off the port, so we're going to go there. And it told us a couple of interesting facts about King George Island. Apparently it was named 2 days after King George died. They didn't know he died yet, so they named it after him. Also, the rock band Metallica came here in 2013 and played a rock gig. First one that they know of, only one they know of. It's happened in Antarctica. Pretty cool. Anyway, let's go. It's windy. Sorry about that, I hadn't plugged in the mic. King George Island. And blue sky. Everyone's still napping. We were hot off the block. So he said we have whales off the front left about 11 o'clock. Wow. 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 So close. You can even see that in the GoPro. Let me run to the side. Phil, did you see it? It was right here. It was like facing toward the ship. You can see a little peak poking its head up there above the clouds. The headland over there. Over here there's like a really square jutting up bit at the top of that peak. So he just said that we can see the two arms either side of Admiralty Bay. This is the entrance of Admiralty Bay. Apparently it's 8 kilometers wide, and we're going in there. We'll be in there in about half an hour. Sun's about to come out. Yay! The sun's actually out. Woo! It's getting slightly warm. Now when Phil bought this tripod, I was like, that's a big tripod. Do you really need such a big tripod? But as it turns out, it's the perfect height because it's just above, and it can go higher too. So it's not being blocked by this barrier, which is unfortunately kind of right in my line of sight. I have to go down, or I have to go up and over. Ooh, so tall.
a genius device. Just come round to the starboard side where we are almost level now with the headlands, the entrance to Admiralty Bay. So this would be the east side as we are going in from the south. Someone's key card just went flying off the edge of the deck. Sucks to be them. I guess I'll have to get a new one made. This is gorgeous. Sun reflecting off of the glacier.
Antarctic marathon.
Wow.
Run across the island between stations.
Okay, so there's a marathon run here. That's so cool. Maybe I should enter that marathon. See how the Edinburgh Marathon goes in May 1st though. I already trained for it though by running in the Drake
King
Passage.
George Island is actually
I think it'll start getting windier as we go in because there'll be the funnel, but maybe once we're inside it'll be less windy. Oh look, there's a cool shape over there. See between the two pillars in the middle, it looks like an eagle. It looks like the wings, like the pinions, the head, and the beak facing left. Apparently the captain ordered us some nice weather for 4:30, so well done, Captain. I'm gonna have a look at the glacier. You can see a lot more detail on this glacier now. It's massive. And it comes down to the sea here, and here, and here. Very big. Within Admiralty Bay there are 3 fjords. I think one here, maybe one over there,
Icebergs.
and maybe a third one there, I'm not sure. But yeah, he says we're going to try and explore all 3. And in this one,
for those people who've been
there's a ship.
later.
You can see an expedition ship in the entrance of that fjord there.
Yeah, you can see it. And then on the left, on the land, you have the camp.
Ah, you
By
can
the cliff
see.
is the camp.
You can see the base there.
The base.
I think he said it was the Polish base.
Yeah, Polish.
You can see this boat quite close now. It's a very small one compared to ours. We can see this glacier. See the sun reflecting off it.
So Norwegian Star, to let you know what we're going to do, we're going to head into the fjord directly ahead of us and
okay.
then make a turn to starboard and then we'll turn around and come back the other way.
So these glaciers have much more evidence of retreat. They're slowly going away, they're melting away, retreating back onto the land. It's just one of the signs of climate change. I think we mentioned to you that the Antarctic Peninsula and the South Shetlands are an area of the world where climate change is happening most rapidly. So we see the effects of many glaciers calving and retreating.
So back over on the starboard side, we're looking at this big glacier, and there is like a cliff that is perfectly square, like a table. The sun is just shining off of those glaciers. Makes them look really blue. We've decided that this peak over here shall be called Penguin Mountain because it looks like a penguin standing on top of the hill.
There's a container over there.
Yeah.
So we were looking at.
Oh, so did you take a picture of it?
Yeah, here. I took a picture and then I zoomed into it.
Refugio República del Ecuador. Couple of little boats.
Brazil!
Oh, we're in Brazil.
The flag is Brazil.
Ooh, Brazil.
Oh, yeah, on the back,
Here's the little boats from Brazil around here. They are moving fast. There they
way off to the Brazilian base. You can see there's a base right behind where the two little boats are just passing right now. You can't actually tell at some points where the glacier ends and the clouds begin. So white. So we are in the upper east fjord at the moment. So over there is that's the entrance where we came in, and this is kind of the headland, the western part of this fjord. And we've got a glacier over there. We can see that station really close up now. We're so close. You can practically swim there. Yeah, it'd be a bit cold. If we get a cold and get really sick, it'll be worth it. As soon as we start moving again, the wind comes up again. Turned around and we're facing back out of this fjord. I found a good high spot on some sunbeds. So now I don't have to keep going up on my tippy toes to see over the railing. Look how turquoise this water is at the moment. And look how perfect the weather is. So sunny. So we've come back to our cabin. And time to see this. Right up by the glacier. There was a cave-in just a few moments ago. There's another one. I didn't see that, I heard it. Did you see it?
Nope.
See the different levels of the cliff. You got that top bit and then coming down, then another. And big crevasses.
Something cracked, but it didn't seem to fall.
Something cracked, that means it's probably going to fall. So we need to keep our eyes peeled.
That's it for today's vlog, but come back tomorrow when we're exploring atmospheric Elephant Island and learning more about the story of Ernest Shackleton and his men.
One of the anxieties in my mind was the possibility that we would be driven by the current through the 80-mile gap between Clarence Island and Prince George Island to the open Atlantic.
But unfortunately, the weather conditions have deteriorated, and he says we're currently experiencing gale winds, which will increase to storm winds and possibly very strong storm winds. Subscribe to find out what happens next. See you then.